All I wanna do is all I wanna do is all I wanna do all I wanna do all I wanna do all I wanna do yeah. Come on, come on. All I wanna do is 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 come on in the building. Come on in the building. Yes, sir. Come on into the building. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yo, 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 good people. It's your homie, HerbMan. Busting you back upside the head with another hot banger. Boogie, please go tell somebody to go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. Yes, sir. And if you're new to the program, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all the platforms at Love HerbMan. I am your neighborhood holistic practitioner. I'm your homie HerbMan, coming live from South Africa, live on YouTube, live on TikTok. Go get somewhere, get situated, and let us teach you how to heal yourself. And you cannot heal yourself unless you know thyself. We're going to teach you here about the human frame and the human design so that you guys can be well on your way to the happiness and the wholeness and the wellness that we deserve. All right, so you guys keep tapping and I'm gonna keep talking. This is a free information station. You don't have to pay for anything that you hear here today. All you simply got to do is pay attention. And how we do that on the HerbMan Show is by double tapping that screen and getting us up to 100,000 likes during the live broadcast. Trust me, I'm gonna work for my food, you work for yours. Let's heal together. Let's heal together. Let's heal together. How about that? So for the longest, we've been teaching you guys here about the owner's manual, right? And we've been teaching you about the efficacy of nature-based interventions. We've been teaching you guys about the anatomy. We've been teaching you about biology. We teach you about astrology and cosmology. We teach you about psychology, physiology. We teach you about metaphysics. We teach you about all of these different modalities that come up from our past and our historical understanding of why all of these things exist. Why are they there? What are their importance? And you got to understand that we were always trying to further life. We was always trying to extend life. That was always your human first instinct, was to live. Okay. And so in that, you must understand what living became. Now, living became first was a natural thing that you desired and aspired to do. But then it became such a program thing. Once you got past the fact that maybe certain things won't kill you at certain times, then you get comfortable. And the question is, who benefits when you lose your rhythm with your natural understandings, with your natural abilities? Who benefits when a human is blocked or obstructed from their supernatural qualities? Who benefits when that human is in the dark or in the ignorance of their possibilities, of their strengths? Who benefits when a human loses its rhythm? See, power and efficiency has always came at a hidden cost. Speed being the thing that we're trying to do has always set us back. And that profit loss margin has to be starting to get realized. Is it worth it? Is this design worth it? You ask yourself, why am I always tired? Why am I always stressed? Why does everything feel off? Who benefits when you lose your rhythm? You over there sick, alone, confused. Who benefits from you losing your rhythm? This is not a conspiracy question, but it's more of a question about systems. Because every system produces incentives. And incentives always seem to shape the human behavior. And it might do it very quietly without you noticing. Hiding in the background is this retool and reprogramming of the human behavior. But today we're not going to blame people, but we're examining what structures do, what Saturn, Satan, limitations, the maze, the matrix, what these structures do, these systems. They tend to allow you to lose your rhythm. And rhythm ain't all just about rest and repair. It's not about slowness. Rhythm is not about spirituality. But the rhythm that I'm talking about is perfect timing, appropriate timing. Biological rhythm is what I'm talking about. And biological rhythm means that the effort is followed by recovery, that your attention is followed by integration, that your actions are followed by completion. And a lot of us, we tend to put effort without recovery, to learn without practicality. But when your rhythm exists, your decisions will improve. Your energy renews itself. Your judgment sharpens. The autonomy increases within you. Things get better. Things get better when you're on rhythm. And so what we're trying to teach you guys is how to regain that rhythm back with life. You can't let that speed bump be a wall. Because when your rhythm collapses, then the urgency starts to replace your clarity, your ability to see clear. The motion starts to be the reason instead of the meaning. The reaction starts to replace the choices that you can make. So rhythm is not about being comfortable. Rhythm is what I like to call an agency that you can utilize in your time of need. And a lot of times we get off rhythm with different abuses, different backgrounds, different things we done went through. There's a lot of stuff that can get us off rhythm just because of our wants, needs, and desires. We're so embedded in the things that we feel like we need, want, and desire. So therefore, any buffer gets you off rhythm. And the modern systems of today prize themselves on speed. So if you ain't getting money fast enough, if you ain't getting this fast enough, if you ain't doing this fast enough, it seems as if you're lacking. Speed is not neutral. But the modern systems are prizing you on your speed. They're prizing you on your efficiency, your thoroughness. They're prizing you on your optimization skills, and that's fine. But these aren't like real agendas that you're supposed to be going toward. These are engineering goals. And the critical insight that I'm trying to get you guys to learn when you're dealing with health and wealth and all these life issues. Speed has always been built to reward systems faster than it will ever reward humans. Machines don't tire out, but you do. Algorithms don't need to recover, but you do. Markets don't require integration, but you do. And you can run all of that stuff you want to. You can run all the machines, all the algorithms, all the markets you want. You still are not them. And when you get caught up in that speed game and it becomes your dominant value, then guess what? Yes, the systems gain power. But the humans lose reception. You lose your reception of time, your perception of time. You lose timing. And a human without rhythm looks like a sick person, looks like a broken person, a fragmented individual. A human without rhythm looks like a person that still ain't got themselves on track yet, can't get right. When you become a rhythmless human, you get way more reactive than reflective. You stay busy being under Saturn's yoke instead of intentional. You're always complying, but you never really discerning. A rhythmless human gets stimulated without being oriented. And this ain't got nothing to do with being stupid, but it is temporal deprivation. You're lost, confused. When you lose your rhythm, that is the 40 years of darkness. That is in the wilderness. And a person who cannot find pause to be something that they can do, then you cannot assess things properly. You cannot sense alignment properly. You cannot detect manipulation well enough. And you cannot resist urgency good enough. See, a person who cannot pause for a second to be able to understand things are easily manipulated by the systems of this world. You're easily manipulated because you cannot detect manipulation properly. And that goes for the industries. They get you. They got you. You can't resist being urgent and stimulated. And when you're urgent, it bypasses your discernment. And that's not by accident. This is a feature of the system that we live in. It's a feature that comes with the system in order for you to lose reception. Okay? And your life is riding on this roller coaster. And there's a feature here to get you lost. Because this ain't just a roller coaster, but if you look at it right now, this car is in spring. And in a minute, it'll be in the summer of its life. And then it's going to travel and get down into the fall of its life. And then it's going to travel and get into the winter of its life. So you'll see that while it's rolling along this yellow brick road, along this ecliptic of the sun, along this lifeline, along this life path, that is going through tumultuous seasons. And if you don't realize where you at, when you lose rhythm of the GPS, you're going to get lost. And the people who benefit from this, the systems that benefit from the human desynchronization from nature, includes the industry, all the industrial systems, all your financial systems, all your digital platforms, all your bureaucratic systems. This is a feature of the system. And all they do is just incentivize you to break you down, to lose your rhythm. No villain systems. They use incentives to break you down. But when you get your rhythm, you'll see that your rhythm will create the resistance. If you look at me, when I find my rhythm, now I'm creating resistance in the world. Now, they don't like that. You're not going to have a comfortable life buffering the system. But a rhythmic human can start to be a little bit more patient before responding. You can tell when something is off. You notice pressure tactics. You detect misalignment. You act deliberately. That's a rhythmic person. And a person like that is harder to persuade. It's harder to rush. Harder to overwhelm. A person like that is harder to control, my people. The rhythm restores your internal authority of who you are. Your solid rock, your Peter. It comes when you get in contact with the rhythm. And all they do is try to distract us, but distraction ain't necessarily entertainment. It's not about entertainment. It's about interrupting your rhythm. Simply point, period. Because when your attention never completes, then your thoughts never settle, then you can't manifest. When your emotions don't integrate, then you can't get hormonal balance. When your meaning doesn't formulate, then you're going to think that this is a hellacious situation. When your memory is fragmented, then you're going to feel lost and confused. Because a fragmented mind is easier to redirect than when it's standing on solid rock. Than when we have remembered together. It said, be ye perfectly joined together. But a fragmented mind is a double mind. And a double mind it can't be, what y'all know what that is? Can't be stable. And not because it's stupid. It's just because they keep you never arriving. You got to think about how many people you've ever heard their goals, their dreams, their aspirations, And these same people are working at McDonald's, Burger King, the department stores. They're working at the warehouses. They're doing everything that they don't want to do, but they gotta do. You know, have you ever imagine all your life living under the banner that I just did what I had to do, not what I really wanted to do? Do you know the psychological effect that has on the biology of the human species? And a lot of people ain't really addressing that. Most of us, 99% of us, are living our lives doing what we gotta do, not what we wanted to do. And that's gonna come with a handful of coping mechanisms that you ain't got no control over. 99.9% of us are living in this life doing what we feel like we gotta do, not what we want to do. And that, for the psychosis of the human, is dangerous. But when you get somebody that understands how to keep their peace, keep their calm, keep the awe and the gratitude and the presence there, they're not as reactive. They don't escalate emotionally. They don't follow the manufactured copycat version of what you think things should be. These people are always analyzing the situation for what it is. Why now? Why does this happen to me now? Who is benefiting from this urgency? And what happens if I wait? These are 3 questions that when you're calm enough, you can begin to start to ask. Because waiting is where the power lies. And that's why it's discouraged in the systems. Don't let them wait, because when you wait, you're going to think that this ain't worth it. And this is why the world is filling off. Because the systems are accelerating things. Humans are fragmented all over the place. The rhythm is disappearing. We're losing our reception. You guys keep tapping, I'm going to keep talking. You keep tapping, I'll keep talking. If you want to get closer so that you can begin to regain confidence in the vibration, in the sound, if you lose reception, you will fall to deception. If you lose reception, you'll fall to deception. And this ain't collapse, it's simply misalignment. They try to get us to frame urgency as something important. Speed and how fast you do something sometimes tends to be equal to how intelligent you are. Waiting and procrastinating sometimes can come off as laziness. But the framing benefits the systems, not the humans. And you got to reclaim your rhythm, your voice, your sound, your movement. You can't keep watching them children dancing on TV. It's time for you to move now. You can't keep listening to them sing your favorite song. It's time for you to sing now. Yes. You can't keep listening and looking at them old Hallmark movies to make you cry. It's time for you to think of something. What's your movie that can move you? It's time for you to stop having to find a concert or a TV channel to watch to laugh. Can you just find laughter and beauty in the things naturally? And when we're reclaiming our rhythm, this is not about overthrowing anything. It's about taking back my responsibility of my personal tempo sovereignty. When I'm reclaiming rhythm, it means that I'm willing to pause before I respond, willing to finish my moments. I'm willing to protect my transitions. I'm willing now to allow myself to integrate into these concepts and theories and new philosophies in my life. I'm willing to question urgency now. And these may be little small steps toward my sovereignty, but they are the roots. And they're going to quietly remove the leverage that the systems have, where now I can get back into my free state. And in my free state is my healed state. It's my abundant state. And when enough of us start to get back into rhythm and start to regulate time again, when enough humans regain rhythm, and we can do this through the algorithms of these social media platforms, they using it for it. But when enough humans regain their rhythms together, we can change the world. Systems adapt to the humans. It's not the other way around. But it's only when humans stop moving faster than they can integrate that they'll begin to see that power. And the power today that we're teaching you about is not about force. It's not about force. But what we want to teach you with the owner's manual and with this station and with this show, you guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. You guys go subscribe to us on YouTube, anywhere we're there at Love HerbMan, okay? If you want the best products in the planet, we have them. Period. And we can just keep it pushing. You can DM me if you need them. But we're teaching you not about power is force, but tempo control. Whoever controls the speed of your life got you. Whoever is controlling the speed of your life is going to shape your outcomes. And the most radical act available that you can do right now, my brothers and sisters, is not to resist, but it's for us to restore our rhythm. If we move in the collectiveness, they can't stop nothing. You've been taught to fight back through resistance. I'm teaching you how to fight back with your rhythm. This is experience. Not fighting systems, but we can reclaim the timing. And we can do it in the way. Why do you think that they're shutting off the internet before they do their elections? Y'all not listening to this stuff they do? Why you gotta shut out the internet to do an election? You ain't been had this shit out the internet to do it because you don't want. Look, if we get this, we got this, and we good. They're not gonna allow us to continue to connect this way for long. When I can get my Iranian brother to hum with me, and my Iraqian brother to hum with me, and my African brother to hum with me, and my Asian brother to hum with me, and my Latin brother to hum with me, and my American brother to hum with me, and my Australian brother to hum with me, and my South American brother to hum with me, and my European brother to hum with me, all at the same time. Oh yes, we too connected. But there's nobody who as yet came on the platform to connect under one sound. Not a voice, not a language, but use the internet to connect under one sound. That one sound. Somebody put in the chat, one sound. And that one sound is your voice. That one sound is my voice. And when you do your voice and I do my voice, it makes one sound. And I'm trying to teach you guys how to use your voice to get what you want out of life. But also how to manage your voice, because it'll manifest the good and the bad. If you want to be healed, it won't happen through believing it, but it will happen through doing it. Belief alone won't change your situation. There's plenty of people that believed it and it didn't happen because it took some doing. That belief has to turn into some actions. And we're not getting enough understanding of these seasons to know exactly what we need to do. I was just telling the brother the other day, he's in the wintertime. So yeah, you got a blood issue and you're in Pisces, but you got to know that this is rest and repair. You trying to get this recovery done so fast so you can get back on to your life, but it ain't going to happen like that for you at this point. That might have happened in another time in your life, or it might happen later. But right now, you got to know that you got this issue, but the reason, not necessarily the reason, but the actual remedy for it is this means rest and repair. You can't work yourself through this. So you got to add the situation in with where the car at. So my brother happened to be right here. Driving the car life, and you don't know where you at. And every day we're going through this life path without no direction. And the owner's manual for that little funky measly $50 I be cussing y'all out about all the time. That's what you're getting, direction. So that you can get a little bit more meaning and a little bit more understanding out of life. First, you need that. And then secondly, you need the right stuff, the right foods, the right herbs, the right natural-based interventions. You need to know how much sunlight you require, how much water you require, how much foods that you may require, what kind of foods you may require, what the sunlight foods are that you need. All of this stuff we know. But we're missing this information, and you think the doctor know this. The doctor don't know this. A pill can't put your life understanding back in. And the pastor can't heal your cancer. So who you going to run to? Knowing this is knowing thyself. Knowing what to grow. Some of you guys are trying to grow your wealth at the wrong time. Some of you guys are trying to grow your health at the wrong time. Some of you guys are trying to grow your family at the wrong time because you don't understand seasons of life. And the owner's manual draws us closer back to the reception so that we can get our GPS and know how to get back home. Aquarian Virgo says, understand. Yes, that's all we're trying to teach. And this thing happens through a rhythm. It's a flow. Just like you listening to rap and you talking about, oh yeah, bro got the flow. Yes. Yeah, you got to catch the beat. God is rapping. Catch the beat. You can't hear the hook? Huh? God is rapping. You can't hear the song? Huh? You can't hear the song? Some of y'all can hear that in the background before you can hear the song of God. And this information that we're trying to teach you, it bypasses language entirely. And we're operating on another level of the human state and the human rhythm and the human perception. Language divides us. But these states of consciousness synchronizes us. And all of this stuff we talk about with kairos or kairos and rhythm and presence and pace and regulation and all these words are nothing but pre-linguistic human capacities. And that's why we know that this will work across cultures, across ages, across belief systems, even across all literacy levels. This will work for you. This is what you've been looking for. This will work for you. This will work for you. We're going to eradicate the language and get into rhythm. You got to get into the rhythm of what the day is saying. God speaks through nature. He'll whisper to you with the wind. He'll touch you with the sun. Yes. Language requires translation. When I'm trying to heal, who got time for that? I know who I am, but it's still only 70, 80 people on here. Because language requires translation. I'm in South Africa right now, but can't do nothing because language requires translation. Language has been carrying your culture for forever. Language will trigger ideologies in you. It'll activate agreements and disagreements. Language moves through cognition. But the humans will never orient through language first. It's going to have to be taught some kind of pace, tone, or rhythm. I've seen plenty of people come on here. They may have the right stuff to say, but they're saying it the wrong way. You lose people because language won't do it. But babies will regulate without words. Animals know how to coordinate without language. Music even will move you way before you even know the hook, the beat by itself, or just rhythm is universal, and it's going to help us with understanding our timing. So when you get the herbs, when you get the foods, when you get your nature-based interventions, when you get your consultation, when you get your detox, when you get your high blood herbs, when you get your high blood sugar pressure, high blood sugar herbs, when you get your cancer herbs, all this sexual health herbs, whatever you get from us, understand that it has been put together by the most greatest system on the planet. And it ain't missing nothing. It ain't missing no hula hoops. The only thing about it is what you do with the information when you go back home. Can you finally relax and say, you know what? I got what I was looking for. Because skepticism will keep you stimulated and you can't heal under stimulation. So I'm not trying to tell you that the herbs better than any other body herbs as if my herbs don't grow on earth. But what I'm trying to tell you is that the program is the best program for you, and it's cost effective. It just requires you to get back reconnected with nature while eating the right things. We're trying to get healthy without God. It don't work. You're trying to get healthy without God. You're trying to get wealthy without God. It won't work, pimp. It won't work. It won't work. And some of you are trying to know God without nature. It won't work. It won't work. You can't know God without nature. You got to appreciate the creation to show appreciation toward the creator. Can't say you love the creator and hated all the creation. That don't make sense. So you show appreciation to the creator by showing appreciation to the creation. You cannot know God without loving nature, knowing nature, because it's the attributes of God are shown through nature. The sun has never died. The air has never died. The water has never died. The earth has never died. These are attributes of what you would call God. And when you fall out of relationship, out of reception, you don't walk too far away from the garden. You don't got lost in your call of life. You don't got lost on your life path. And you have no reception on your cell phone. Listen to what I'm teaching you. You have no reception on your cell phone. Your cell's ability to photosynthetically get the regenerative tools it needs to keep healing you and keep regenerating. You can go on growing if you keep on knowing thyself. Once you stop knowing, you stop growing. Once you stop generating, then you stop regenerating. Once you stop producing, then there is no reproduction. It's all up to you. And if you got limited information on your destination, your goals, your agenda, it makes this roller coaster ride one of the most hellacious experiences on the planet. One of the most scariest, the most overly stimulated experiences in life is to ride a roller coaster, and you can't see over the hill and you can't see through the valley. But nature was so kind and God was so good that he gave it a navigation tool. And all we got to understand is that if we stay close enough to nature, we stay close enough to the reception, we know when to turn, when to go, we know what to do. That's timing, that's regulation. And you have to stay at peace with God's timing and not yours, so that even if it don't come when you want it, you just got to know it'll always come on time. And so if I have an ability to heal, there's no reason why cancer scare me. If I have an ability to get rich, there's no reason why poverty would scare me. If I have a ability to get my family, there's no reason why loneliness will be such a detriment to me, because I know I can change my situation. I know my situation can transform. I just got to wait on the season. And so therefore, if you are sick today and you just sick and tired of being sick and tired, we're offering you that opportunity to stop being sick and to finally stop being tired. If you are overwhelmed mentally, emotionally, and you are just sick and tired of what's going on in your life, it's because you don't know who you are and you don't know where you're going, and you're asking folk for shit that you ain't got no business asking folk for. It's because you ain't got no business being in the situation you in, but you're lost and you're confused. and you need to be redirected. We're offering you an opportunity today, right now. It's time to change the stuff that we got control over. Okay? That's what we got to do. I agree with a lot of this. I spent the last year figuring all this out. So nice to hear. Thank you. Yes, 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 yes. It's time. But we've lost reception. We're so far away from our natural instincts, our natural rhythms, that you've lost reception to the song. And now you're battling disease. And you all out here in the wilderness with this disease. You so far away from mama and you done got sick. You so far away from mama and you done got hungry as a baby. You done wandered so far away. She said, Ricky! Willie! Amy! Shirley! And you can't hear mama no more. You can't hear mama no more. And therefore, when you cry out in your prayers, come on, somebody. When you cried at night in your prayers and meditation, she can't hear you. You don't wander too far from mama. In your time of need, she can't hear your cry. And what we're trying to get you to understand, that you grew up in the wilderness. You grew up in the darkness. But we got a way to find ourselves back into the good graces of mama. You don't have to die the way you're dying. And we don't have to live the way we're living. Every human knows rushing and waiting, boredom and anticipation. Every human knows when something is right and when something feels off. You know. You know. And this is a shared human quality. This is a shared human sensation. And that thing right there, that bypasses all the languages on the planet. That's what I'm trying to conjugate up on this platform before we leave here. That's what we're trying to do before we leave here. Can we find the rhythm? Can we moan together? Can we hum together? Can all the babies cry out loud enough together for mama to hear? If one baby can't, maybe if we get into unison and put forth our biggest sound, then maybe that's the signal. That's the alarm. That's the amplification we need for mama to hear our cry and turn back. This bypasses language automatically, my people. The world doesn't change because we simply agree. It changes when we start to react the same, when our attention deepens, when the rhythm returns, and when the urgency stops. When enough people on this planet change pace, it will shift the paradigm. When enough people on the planet change pace at the same time, the systems will follow. Because rhythm is contagious, like I said before, speed is contagious too. So you got to be careful there. And stillness is contagious. But when we collectively get enough people on the same rhythm, we can do this all without words. All without words. Humans have a ability to copy state, not ideals. If someone speaks slower or pause naturally or doesn't rush responses, others can unconsciously match it. This is what we call the nonverbal synchronization. We can do this. We can do this. It's the experience. It's what you've been religiously associating yourself for. What we're talking about is what you go to church for. This is what you've been waiting on. What we're talking about is the reason why you don't go to church. Because this is what you've been waiting on. This is the reason why you go, and this is the reason why you're not going. Because you want the experience. You want to see God move when you want him to. I know what you want. That when I say, let me get that, I want to see it happen. When I say heal myself, I want to be healed. When I say I need this, I want it to be done. When I say that's you just want to be able to, so you want to be able to use your little sorcery. I get it, but guess what? Right now, the world is too multilingual, too polarized, too overstimulated, too distrustful. And anything that requires your belief, your agreement, your conversion, your explanation would fail. But orientation and getting you oriented, orientation, getting you back on the right track, orientation. This is, again, yesterday we was talking about the spin, the Merkaba, right? The Merkaba, being your own star, right? But you gotta have balance. Merkaba means the balance of the imbalances, right? So you got all of these positive and negative, these imbalances. You're always dealing with the polarity, the duality of things, and your job is to make a recipe out of it that benefits and works for you. But you don't know how to make that recipe. We've not been taught about how to keep the ingredients working in our favor. So every now and again, we'll get a little bit too positive and a little bit too negative, and that will throw the imbalances in there, that will throw in issues. Because every now and then we get disoriented because we came in thinking that we got dominion over everything and we got the knowledge of good and evil, so we call things right and wrong. So when you call things right and wrong instead of the natural things, the natural selection of things, then guess what happens? Now you get a little bit too far right or too far left in your consciousness and in your perception, and now you start getting imbalanced in your idea of life. You get disoriented. If you too blue, you disoriented. If you too red, you disoriented. If you too Democratic, you disoriented. If you too Republican, you are disoriented. If you are too this or too that, you are disoriented. The center, the spin must be balanced. So orientation does not require trust in any kind of way. I don't need for you to trust me for nothing for you to get orientation. And you get that orientation through your consultation. And the good thing about it is that today I realize that people don't have to believe me any longer. They only have to feel the difference now. And that's why this message is going to land globally. People are going to go back and watch these videos on YouTube way after I'm dead and gone, and realize how they built the pyramid is what this brother been teaching us. To get under a collective rhythm. That's why you whistle while you work. It's called rhythm. Come on, y'all, we got to get our rhythm on this assembly line. That's why you heard the old song. That's the sound of the man working on the chain gang. Do you really there? It's just the rhythm, right? It was just getting on rhythm. So then when you're on rhythm, magic happens, baby. When you're on rhythm, magic happens, baby. And we're not blaming systems. We're not attacking technology. We're not trying to moralize behavior. And this doesn't require for our values to align. It simply works. Somebody said flow state. Yes. Yes. How many of you seen this without it being manufactured? I don't even like the music in the background, but I know how to do that for some of y'all because you're going to be sleep if we don't. But this thing can happen very easily, very quickly. Very easy, very quickly. You guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. So we've lost reception. Our cells can no longer receive reception from the biological clock that is telling it to regenerate. Since you was born, all the way up until your last day, your cells have been able to call home. But when they lose reception and you can no longer regenerate, rejuvenate, recover, resurrect, then there's nothing that we can do. There's nothing that the herbs can do. There's nothing anybody can do. So we want to keep you close to center. And then we want to give you herbs that also come from there and foods that also come from here so that you can be totally encompassed with the light and the vibration that you need in your body and around you, internally and externally. We believe that this is the ultimate healing guide. We believe that this serves as the ultimate natural-based intervention health assessment. It's the owner's manual. Right now, what we're doing is a deal. You can get the detox and the consultation and the 30-day supply of your herbal herbs for measly $99.99. Okay? That's a 50-day program that we can get you to jumpstart your health, get you well on your way, regulating your blood pressure, regulating your blood sugar, getting you off these medications. If you need to lose a little weight, we'll help you do that as well with these herbs and just get you back right for the first time. I tell people this all the time. Women should be looking at men for their bodies. Men should be looking at women for their mind. Because the man's job is to secure, and you can't play security when you're unhealthy. You can't play security unhealthy, bro. I come in there and take everything you got. You can't play security unhealthy. You don't know how to shoot. You don't know how to run. You don't know how to do a whole lot. You might not drive the truck. You know how to make some money. But I'm talking about security. And some of you guys are not fit to manage that family for the long haul. And you're dropping off in the bed. You're dropping off in other areas. And she notices. So women encourage the men to stay fit. Men encourage the woman to stay mentally sharp. Because you're protecting that mind. That mind is your gold, is your treasure. Not her body. You're the one that's supposed to be fit, not her. She run on physical, biological clock. So her greatest asset is not her body the way you think. Because she can birth ideals far longer than she can ever birth babies. So you want her for a mind, not a body. But you need that brother for his body. You got a mind, you don't need one. He need to be crazy enough to sit at that door and guard you. You know, in the military, we know Marines and we know Army cats. They just crazy enough to be on the front line. You don't gotta be smart being a Marine. You the Marine, nigga. You ain't gotta be smart. I need for you to be tough physically. You ain't got. I got the thoughts. See, but we don't know and understand order. And see, my thing is that now you got the brothers trying to be smart and fine. You got the women trying to be smart and fine. So you're never going to work together. You want to be both, so then you'll never need me for anything. So what's happening is a bunch of us are coming together trying to prove we don't need each other. But look here, I want to come dumb down something, then look, I'm tired of thinking. You want me to do push-ups and work out and eat right every day? I will do it. I'm tired of thinking. Let you do it. Shit. I'm tired of trying to be both of them. And that reliance is our alliance. Somebody put in the chat, that reliance is our alliance. I need you. It ain't a want thing, it's a need. I need you. Your vision, my body, let's make the journey. Your reliance is our alliance. Your vision, my body, let's get there together. Your vision, my body. Let's finish this life path together. Your vision, my body. We got to do it together. And that's what we're faltering. But once we get our rhythm back and we get our instrument back, and you start to understand the relevance of your voice, the relevance of your life. Yeah, I know you might say I grew up in Guinea-Bissau. I'm in over here in jump off Georgia. I'm over here in some crazy place. And what is it meant for, you know? And how does God love me if I'm over here and start a life like this and we in the tribe and we ain't got no shoes and butt naked and ain't ate and this, that, and the thing. I know you think that. But the only stress for natural living people are unnatural living people. The more we get back to our natural selves, the less the stress will be. This vibration that we're creating on social media. I can feel the buzz. I know that I'm going to be known for this, whether good or bad. I realize that I've tapped into something that is new and innovative and creative and at the right time. I know that this is it. But vibration can spread through visual content. Vibration can spread through sound. Vibration can spread through behavior. Vibration can spread through design. And it needs no translation, no subtitles, no doctrine. It just needs to be felt. And we're doing that day in and day out. Getting people to feel the results of Mama Nature. What say you guys? Keep tapping, I'm gonna keep talking. Shouts out to all of the supporters. Shouts out to everyone that has allowed us to serve you in your health journey. We appreciate all of you, reoccurring customers, everybody who's been with me since day one, holding me down when I was in the flea market, all the way up until when I had my storefront, all the way until now me being over here across the seas. We appreciate you guys, okay? Okay? But what we're doing is evolutionary. This is not educational. Okay? What we're doing is evolutionary. This is not educational. See, education is trying to change your mind, but evolution is trying to change your patterns. I'm not ever going to try to get up here and teach you what to think or how to think. Just trying to simply get you to arrive into your reality. Can y'all feel this? That's why this feels so new. That's why some of you guys are so drawn to this. That's why it feels so magnetic. It feels so obvious. Sometimes it feels so unsettling, but yet relieving. Because what we're doing, it bypasses the intellect and starts to reorder your perception. We're trying to use this stuff for the right reason. So it actually seems more like a remembrance. I seek truth. Yes. That's what I mean by obvious, right? Seems obvious, like dang, like this is something that I knew before, or something that just feels right, right? And we're not trying to create a new language. The world doesn't need a new language, but it does need a new tempo. And when our conversation change, we change the tempo of the algorithm. They're trying to force us into reactions. Listen to what I'm saying. Forcing you to be reactionary. But we can change the tempo when our decisions change, when our conversations change, when our systems change, then the tempo changes. And no one has to agree on that first. Changing your tempo. You got a diagnosis, and they say that you're not supposed to live no longer than a certain time. We're going to change the tempo. You got a poverty situation going on, and you ain't got time enough to be able to do this, that, and the third. We need to change the tempo. When you don't feel like going on anymore, you feel like giving up, and you feel like you've done all you can. We're going to change the tempo. We're going to change the delivery time. But you got to understand that first I need you to vibe high enough to get back in connection with your reception to God. I'm going to need you to vibe a little high enough. And some of you guys are saying prayers that ain't getting back in reception. Because some of you guys are out of season with what you're requesting. You need to know the times. You need to know the times. So you're always on the money. That's so true. I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys. Anybody got any questions they want to get answered while we're here? Okay. We need to get on the right time. Humans have never had more time-saving tools, yet we have never been more time poor. Okay. We need to get on time. What say you? So Marlon McIndoe said, that's me. Yeah, man, we got to do it. We got to get back in that time, man. See, we got to get back synchronized. We got to get back in the rhythm. Your disease is just it's just an indicator that you're out of rhythm. That's all. That's all. You're out of rhythm, right? We can get you back in the rhythm, but you got to be willing to commit to what it takes to do it. Okay. That's why we keep our products and stuff cheap, because it's mostly on you. Ain't no need of me charge you for something like I'm doing something. It's mostly on you. So why I'm going to charge you thousands of dollars for products when it's going to be mostly on you? That gives a false pretense that I'm doing something to you. No, hell no. We're gonna get you a manual on you so that you can start to program yourself to do what's required for you. And then once you start doing what you need instead of just what you want to do, then you'll start seeing your life get better. It's easy. It's like 1, 2, 3. Once you start getting back in love with yourself and you start doing what you require, like I require to go outside, I require to laugh, I require to dance, I require to have fun. I'm required. These are non-negotiables. I'm required to communicate. I'm required to travel and be able to be open-minded and download and treat myself with all these different philosophies. These are non-negotiables. These are things that are required by me. So I can't be in environments that hold that down, because that's not going to allow me to be the best version that I can. So therefore, now that I know thyself and I start to at least provide myself with a few of those requirements, those non-negotiables, then that pushes me on forward, man. And a lot of times it incentivizes me in a bigger way than any job, any outside external thing could ever do, because now that you know thyself well enough, you start to duck and dodge, and now it seems like you're making better decisions. Are you making better decisions, or is it because you just got better information? Better information on who? It ain't like you knew her better than you knew her, but you knew yourself better now to know that that other person might not have been the one for you. When you know yourself better, that's when the better decisions come in. And that's what the owner's manual can help you with. Oh, you got your tea yesterday? Yes. Get ready. Yeah, but you are the spark teas. You helped me more than you know. I mean, you guys have helped me more than y'all know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my people. You know, where I've been, they have sent me. Who I am, they have made me. And everything I got, they have given me. So, you know, it's easy to love my people. And it's easy to tell the truth to the people because of that same thing, right? It's easy to tell my people the truth because I'm in love with them. You know, I'm in love with my people, man. My people are in love with me. I wouldn't have got this far without their help. You know what I mean? Get back in rhythm, man. Don't allow local time or central time to override your local rhythm. The top 5 herbs I recommend, I don't have a top 5. I have a top 13. And those top 13 you get in your owner's manual, Echo. Okay? Those top 13 herbs that I recommend comes in your owner's manual. The top 8 herbs that I recommend comes in the detox. Okay, so everything I work with are the best herbs on the planet, but we also know the cooking times, we know the rhythms, we know these herbs have been really, really researched to know what they can and can't do. Okay, I pay for the herb. I pay for herb through the app. How do I know how to get my address? Where to send them? Uh, Shirley, we got your address. You send the address. Now don't be coming on my live trying to handle your business. Now you know my email. Okay. All right. Do you utilize Manuka honey? I use it all the time. Incredible medicine. Yes, we do. We do utilize Manuka honey. I used to do Manuka honey years ago, back in the days. Very expensive honey, but it is pretty good honey. I wouldn't say necessarily it's the best, but it is very good. You can definitely use it. Yes, Miss Shirley, we got you, baby. I got you. I got you. Anybody else while we're here before we get up out of here? If you guys are interested in the owner's manual, please DM us and someone will reach out to you and get you that information. All you're missing is the know-how. That's all you're missing. And the know-how is not going to be on YouTube, or the know-how is your way of doing it. You're missing your way of doing something. You keep trying to figure out how to do it like Dr. Saban, how to do it like Dr. Ben, how to do it like Dr. Clog, how to do it like Dr. Sartima, how to do it like Phil Valentine, how to do it like Bobby Hemmett, how to do it like Dr. Laila Africa, how to do it like Dr. Paul Goss, how to do it like Emma Dupree, how to do it like George Washington Carver, how to do it like Jesus, how to do it like Muhammad, how to do it like Farrakhan. You keep trying to mimic folk because you keep reading their books thinking that you get enlightened. But the inspiration comes from trying to be like a person by trying to take on the responsibilities, not trying to take on the identity. Okay? You try to take on the responsibilities. What do you recommend for blood circulation? Your owner's manual, Adeline. Okay, I recommend you get your owner's manual. If you don't want to do that, if you're in the U.S., you can go to the website and type in Vitality, Vitality, and that's going to help you with your blood circulation. Also, if men are dealing with sexual health issues, Vitality Blend. If you're dealing with high blood pressure, Vitality Blend. If you're dealing with high cholesterol, Vitality Blend. If you're dealing with high blood sugar, it's going to be the Sugar Blend. But we need this vibration. We need to get this thing started up, because this is a thing that is going to change our world. Using these platforms to amplify our voice. That's why they're cutting off the internet before politics, because you're not using this to amplify your voice, but it can be. And we're doing it in different ways and in different languages. But now it's time to get up under one sound. One sound, one voice. Any other questions? What's the best sweetener? I don't know. I really don't use sweeteners for teas. I'm a kind of a heads up kind of guy. I wasn't chasing liquor, so I don't chase my teas. So I don't really delve into the sweeteners like that. But the healthiest one for me would be blackstrap molasses. Okay, that would be the healthiest sweetener. Would be blackstrap molasses. Okay, for me. You guys can go and be looking up monk fruit and some of these other things, but I don't really like the concentrated sugars like that. because they're just basically unadulterated sugar. But you know, the blackstrap molasses has been cut down 3 times to get called blackstrap, right? So that's the cane sugar being basically cooked 3 times, and you get your blackstrap molasses. But some of this other stuff is very highly concentrated. So if you're getting, you know, fructose corn syrup, or you're getting fructose at a concentration level, then that's why you see a lot of people who are eating vegans and stuff like that, eating a lot of fruits, but they're still gaining a lot of weight, right? Because of the fructose. So I'm not saying fruits are bad, but sometimes the way that we are getting this stuff, you know, makes it too concentrated. Mm-hmm. Where do I type vitality? In my website, Adeline. Okay. On the website, if you don't want to do the website, you can just DM me. Once we get off of here, we'll let you know what that blood pressure T looks like. But you can go to the website, type in vitality, and you got it there. All right. So what we're trying to do, man, is we're trying to break the timing. All right. We're trying to break the timing. All right. Modern diseases, they're correlating with you being off rhythm. Okay. They're coordinating with your circadian disruption and all this types of stuff. So we're trying to break those things. All right. We're trying to break this disruption. And if we can do that, then that'll break your metabolic syndrome. That'll help you with the type 2 diabetes. It'll help improve the cardiovascular diseases. It'll help improve depression issues and anxiety disorders. This will help improve the autoimmune conditions and the cancer progressions that we got going on. Okay? We can break the timing through our vibration. Because right now we're dealing with high cancer rates. We're dealing with high heart disease. We're dealing with high depression. And this is everywhere. We're dealing with low immune precision. So something is going on in the world, because this is a world conditions now. This is happening everywhere. In some of the most remote areas in the world, they're dealing with higher cancer rates, higher diabetes rates, higher cardiovascular diseases, higher autoimmune rates, higher this and higher that. Depression is ravaging a lot of these places. I know. And it's because we're under chronic biological mistiming. We're under chronic stress. We're under chronic stress, and we can't get the reception under that. Okay? So when we say time affects disease, we mean timing affects the physiology. And we're going to help you find your way back home. If you know someone's birthday, can you get the owner's manual for them? Yes, that's all we need is a birthday. We don't need a blood type, a blood sample. We don't need a hair sample, stool sample, urine sample. We don't need that little live culture and that little nasty bump down there. Your birthday holds the longest information that you have. So if you've been living 46 years, your birthday holds 46 years of information. If you're 72, your birthday holds 72 years of information. If you're 99, your birthday holds 99 years of information. And there's no doctor, there's no test, there's no sample that you can give that will hold that much information on you. So that's why we use that. Mama don't know you by language, but she knows you by what? Those numbers. And those numbers hold a frequency in which you came into this planet. And at the same time, that's when the cosmology and biology mixed up and created you as a life force. And that was notated in what they call nowadays the book of life. And we know how to go back into nature with your birthday and allow mama to remember you and let us know your spiritual tendencies, your physical tendencies, just your tendencies and things about you that you need to know about you that you probably don't understand. And if you don't understand you, how can you explain yourself to somebody else? And then how well can somebody else understand you? Hell, if they don't even know this about themselves. When you don't know where you're going, it's easy to get lost. Just DM me, my brothers and sisters. DM me if you're interested in anything that we talked about today, or you just want to tell me about what you got going on so that we can direct you to what programs or products that you may need or services that you may require, then you can do that. Okay. If you got questions, we'll answer them. Okay. But the consultations are $50, so I can't do a whole lot. I don't go off doctor recommendations. I don't go off your personal recommendations as well. Okay. But what we can do is that I can get a consensus of what you tell me and give you a recommendation of what you should do, which normally is going to be, girl, go and do your consultation. Let mama in on it. Stop trying to depend on me so much. There's a way that you can go back and talk to God. You do that. Don't try to depend on me. Use your birthday. Let the ultimate system give you some kind of start or some kind of recommendations. And then we can kind of, if you want to do whatever, that's on you. But let mama give you her stuff. Then we go from there. If you don't want to do it, if you don't want to say, I can't do this and I can't do that, and how I'm going to do this, how I'm going to do that, that's fine. But if you're going to pay for anything, pay to see what mama say. Shit. Pay to see what mama say. That way you got what you need right there. Mama say this. You know, if I know somebody that know mama, I'm just going to go and pay for what mama. I don't need me coming here and playing. It ain't nothing but for $50. What mama say about me, man? My birthday, bro. That's all you need. I don't need your phone number. I don't need your address. I don't need your social security number. We don't need your credit card number. We just need a birthday. We don't need your name. That's language. Mama say, I remember that day. Yes, sir. I remember that day. June 19th, 1979. I remember that day. And I know everything that I made that day had a tendency to want this and to do this and to do that. And I was included on that day. See, that's how mama remember. I remember that day. And I know everything I made on that day, including you. Go back to mama. Go back to mama. Yes, sir. Marlon, you got to DM us, man. Get your consultation. Learning my cold and dry tendencies made life more sense to me. Yes. Learning how to do the opposites, right? So you're learning the magic of it now. You know, see, that's what Noetic Nay is trying to teach you guys, is that once she realized that it's the opposite attracts, when she realized how to play the opposite game, she getting better. And if you come here for all this other stuff and you leave with nothing, leave with that. He's simply teaching us the opposites game. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand about being your own star, your own Merkaba. Is there's going to be times of positives and some negatives. There's nothing that you can do to stop that. So what you got to do is learn how to balance the imbalances. That's it. And when you start learning this little opposite game, shit start going better and better and better and better and better. And so when you're having conditions like cancer or diabetes, you got to give your body the opposite of the condition. Duh. Right? If you are poor, you got to give your mind opposite of that condition. Duh. If you're lonely, you have to give your body or mind opposite of that condition and socialize. And you'll see that you won't be lonely no more. If you're poor right now and you have no money, then start to look at how much time you got, and then start to see how you're investing, spending, and earning time. And when you as a poor man starts to manage your time wisely, you become rich. I'm telling y'all this works, and I'm telling y'all how it is. It works, man. It works, man. It works. Somebody put in the chat, it works. Somebody put it in the chat. It works. You just got to be adamant about remembering how to work it. Put in the chat. It works. It works. What I'm teaching you is cheap, but it works. It's accessible to everybody on the planet. Oh, well, since it's not for the elite, because it's accessible to everybody, but it still works. Oh, he only using 13 herbs. He had 200. Yeah, because we understand what those 13, that's all you need if you know how to work them. They work. The real herbalists didn't, man, the real herbalists had a few tried and true that they knew would make it do what it do. It's effective. It works. Right now, if you're watching me and you got an opportunity, just lower your shoulders. You see that? If you could lower your shoulders, that means you were tense and didn't even know it. Put some ones in the chat if you just did that. Drop your shoulders. If you dropped them, you felt that you was tense and didn't even know it. Like, damn, I didn't even know my shoulder was tense like that till you said drop them. Yeah. Now watch this. Drop your jaws. You wouldn't even know that your mouth was tight until you just dropped your jaw. You realize that it could drop. Another thing, watch. If your tongue is at the roof of your mouth, you tense. Drop your tongue. Now, feel how all three of them just did to you. Herb ain't gonna do it. You won't even be able to roll up. You won't even be able to roll up fast before we just gave you that right there. You would have just popped the ball off the. You would have just got the goddamn top off the Colt 45 before you got that feeling right there. That feeling came fast. You would have still been hitting the pack of the post. You would still been trying to thump them things in and get your little pack of poke, but I just gave you some before you even fired up the poke. You would have still been over there trying to get that medicine top off. And talking about go there, hand me that Pepsi. You ain't even got the peel out the bottle yet before you just got that. Listen to what I'm saying. Before you even picked up the phone, call your friend. Before you even drove to the church to go see your pastor. Guess what we just did? I'm trying to teach y'all what they won't teach you. Producing your own medicine. There are things in your body to do this. I learned reflexology. I learned all this stuff, and I can't call myself shit. That's fine, because I ain't go to school for nothing. But it don't mean that I don't need to call myself nothing. But the herb, man, that's it. But I know these things to know that there are things in you that can produce hormonal things. And the biggest reason I know this is because, again, I had to sit back and look and say, okay, a woman can walk past me naked without touching me or saying anything. But because my mind is focused on her, she can cause a resurrection in me. That means that my thoughts can create a physical my thoughts can create a physical reaction. If I can do that, how much more else I can do? I ain't just worried about getting hard now. If I can do that, then can I heal my prostate? Can I move my prostate? If I can do that, then can I heal my kidneys? Can I move myself to pee? If I can do that, then can I heal my heart? And can I move myself to love? And if I can do that, then can I heal my eyes and resurrect my eyes, or make my hair grow back? Or if I can do that, can I make my feet grow back? Or whatever it is. If my mind got that much power to cause a physical reaction in me, what else can it do? And when y'all get that, you'll see why I'm on this road. Okay? You start looking at your body. You start looking at your body. You start seeing the majesticness of certain things. And you start asking the question, why? You start asking the question of how. And then you come to the conclusion that, yes, you are wonderfully and magically made, and it is only your lack of knowledge that is causing you an early death. But if we can show you how to push all of the buttons in your spacesuit, you will see that you are an everlasting, rejuvenating, resurrecting, recuperating, recovering creature. And if you can sustain that regenerative process, then you can sustain life forever. I love you guys, man. And it's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Please go tell somebody to go tell somebody about your homie HerbMan. And until next time, love HerbMan. Peace. Vibe with us. Vibe with us, you guys. Vibe. Peace. Peace. Vibe. Vibe on your way out. Vibe on your way out, man. Hum. Okay, let me turn this thing back up. Let's hum on our way out. Get what you came for. Don't leave without getting what you came for. So I'm going to remove language. And let you guys just hum it on out. Yes. All I wanted. All I want is 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 yes. All I wanna do is all I want. All I want to hear. All I want, all I wanna do is hear. All I want, all I want, all I all I want, all I hear. All I wanna Thank you guys. Peace. We appreciate the 100,000 likes. Go on your way. If you're tired today, be tired. If you're emotional today, it's okay, be emotional. If you're energized today, go on and do your thing. And if you feel quiet today, it's okay, listen to your body. Be quiet today. Love you. Peace, peace.